Okay, so after doing a bit of searching, there's really not much I need to do, except for the fact that overall information is actually its own category. I'll be doing everything that isn't the overall information first. That can be that I hopefully will not take that long. First things first, I'm gonna save. Go to chapter select. Go to any chapter that you're playing as A2, and yeah, I'm just gonna go the good old reliable head to the tower chapter where A2 just kind of spawns in, and I'm not going to head to the tower. I feel like that's just the easiest way to do it. Huh. I'm confused here because what's supposed to happen, she's supposed to direct us to this computer. Maybe I'm in the wrong chapter. Who knows? I'll go back to a different chapter, I guess. Maybe the first chapter I play as A2. Because I remember that she did direct us to a computer at one point. I just skipped over reading it. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, skip ahead to when the stories, events, and stuff are done, and I can just actually free roam again. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, so this is I don't even know what chapter it is. It's a computer, select a file. Part 1. Have I read this? My name is Nemini, and I lead the Android Resistance. This is a record about I've experienced and my losses. I leave it here as a warning to myself. Machine life from attack land far too close for comfort. I smell an accrete odor and know that some of my hair has been singed off. Anemone, retreat for now. That's an order. That's my captain, Rose. I obey her without hesitation, running from the front as soon as I take out a few nearby enemies. Feet flying beneath me, I leaped into the hastily built trench where my resistance comrades are gathered. Now, how many battles is this now? The same sight and sound, the same struggle and attrition. The resistance force plays the same war on repeat, with no ends in sight. I don't even remember why we're fighting anymore, but I must continue regardless. I must continue until one side or the other side is dead. This looks bad, Xion. What should we do? Calm down, Lily. We'll find an opening somewhere. You don't search for an opening, you make one. Dahlia, wait. I grabbed Dahlia's arm before she can flee the trench and turn to Rose. She brought us here, after all. She must have a plan of some kind. But as the enemy horde closes in, Rose simply squints off in the distance. There's been a change in enemy movement, she said finally. Someone had just started fighting over there. But that's not possible, stammered Margaret. We're all here. Margaret's right. There are only 9 of us left capable of fighting the machines. Captain Rose, Jabera, Lily, Sonia, Erica, Margaret, Xion, Dahlia, and me, Anemone. We're all that's left on the 8th Descent Forces. The one that took place roughly 200 years ago. And uneasy, Sonia pulled Xion close and chewed on the loose strand of hair. I don't like it, she said. What if it's some kind of machine trap? I wait for a while, heart pounding until I hear the enemy fire lessen. Okay, I say, this looks like our chance. Just pull back. Someone's fighting out there, Anemone, cries Dahlia. You can't abandon them. Oh, so you want to risk all of our lives for some stranger? Come on, we don't even know if this mysterious fighter is on our side or not. That's not what I said. Enough, you two, sparked Xion. The captain makes the final decision on this. After Xion speaks, all of us turn to Captain Rose. She looked us in the eye and nods slowly before starting to speak. Ibera, the enemy is heading towards the explosive we set up earlier, yes? Ibera thinks for a moment. Now that you mention it, yeah, they are. A slight smile crosses Rose's face, yet she still seems perfectly composed. Good. Then if this goes well, we might be able to take them all out. I want all of you to leave this trench and get to those explosives at Rose. We'll let the blast take out most of them, then clear up the stragglers. Identifying our unknown mystery fighters can wait until we're done. No one objects to the captain's decision. The moment she issues the order, we all leave from the trenches as one and we entered the fray. When we reach the battle, we find what appears to be another set of androids dressed in strange black outfits. Before they ever know what's happening, we detonate the explosive, kill the remaining machines, and turn our guns in their direction. Alright, I said to the stranger, start talking. Easy, said one of the mysterious androids. We're on your side. We're new models rolled out as part of something called Project Yorha. Really? I said. I say. We haven't heard anything about new models. I probably speak with more bluster than necessary, but I have to make sure they're actually on our side. I don't think they're lying necessarily, but I can't read their expression thanks to the giant goggle they wear. And frankly, I like a little caution never goes amiss in the middle of war. We learned that the 4 androids refer to each other as number 2, 4, 16, and number 21. They also aren't in a hurry to share much more. Our mission is top secret, one of them says. That's why you haven't heard about us yet. I slowly draw my knife in an attempt to gauge their reaction. So in other words, no one will know any better if I kill you right now. Stand down, Emily, said Rose softly. No, cried Lily. She's right. We all seen how quickly the enemy is evolving. Who to say these 4 art machines that just look like human? My companion nodded in agreement. This damn war has made us all suspicious. One of the strangers, number 16 I believe, draws a long knife from its sheath. If it's a fight you want, she said, I'm happy to give it to you. Before I can respond, Dahlia leaps in front of me with her weapons at the ready. This is it, we're going to fight. But just before the battle can erupt, an android called number 2 steps forward. Wait, she says. There used to be 16 of us, says number 2, but the other died during the descent. We're isolated and alone out here. Reinforcements aren't coming, and that means we have to fight this mission with the soldier we have left. We don't need more enemies right now. What we need is allies. She finishes the speech with a soft sigh as if trying and failing to hold her emotion in check. I know that sort of voice. It's the voice of someone who still has hope despite all the odds. Is this achieve? Archive. I don't even know why I keep saying achieve. Archive obtain a resistance anemone and a resistance rose. I get that off my list of stuff. Select the file. Let's go to part 2. More reading. Woo. God. According to the Yorha team, there's an enemy server beneath Mount Kal-Allah. I don't know. If we can take it out, it might finally gain some ground in the endless war. But in order for that to happen, we need to work together. After a bit of thought, Rose decides to throw in with the new models. It's a relationship that changes as time goes on. What are we doing, Dahlia? Just showing this idiot how weak she is, replies the wounded Dahlia. Wheeze is her opponent, number 16. You're obviously outmatched. 2 of them are taking turns hitting each other. It seems friendly enough as those things goes. Plus, they're doing it for so long now that both of them are out of energy. They likely couldn't punch through a piece of paper at this point. The rest of the group stares at the combatant and tries not to grin. Dahlia, number 16, seems to butt heads out over the smallest little things. Maybe it's because they're so much alike. It's almost annoying how quickly Musclehead learns to like one another. The rest of us converse as Dahlia and 16 continue to spar. We call each other by names that I gave us, explained Rose. I see, responds number 4. I thought it's strange that you didn't use code numbers. She nods while she speaks, as though this all makes perfect sense. Suddenly, Captain Rose breaks out into a wide grin. You know what she says? She says, I don't know. I think we should give all of you names as well. No, said number 2. It would be a waste. Rose eyes her warily. A waste? You can name me when a mission is over, she replies as a blush rises in her cheek. I can tell her words also serve as a wish for success. Alright, responds Rose. I'll think of a name for you by then. She knows this is a fleeting promise, as most such things are, but it doesn't matter. Already I can see us growing closer to the Yorha team. Well, my friends are growing closer to them at least. They're all being careless, I state, much louder than I intend. Luckily, the other either don't hear or decides to ignore it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not about to go against the captain's judgment, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to just lie down and trust our new quote-unquote friends. Our is a solitary existence that has long since been abandoned by the moon. No matter how they cried, mourned, or struggled, the voices of our departed comrades went unanswered. So how can we trust an entire squad of new models that you just met? What's wrong, Nemone? I hear Lily calling to me. She likely concerned about me being apart from the rest of the group. Nothing. Nothing. I begin. I'm fine. Before I can complete my thought, Lily suddenly opened her mouth and emits a terrible scream. Lily's scream echoes throughout the entire camp. It's heartbreaking. It's agony. It's horrible. She's infected, screamed Rose. Lily's infected. We all draw weapons out of instinct as such as anything else, pointing them at her comrade as she continues to scream and scream and scream. We all know what's happening. We've seen it before. It's a logic virus, a machine weapon that hijacks Android system and overwrites their data. And since there's no known cure, it's also a death sentence. I need to show her mercy. I need to set her free. My finger rests on the trigger, yet I hesitate, and before I can make that final fateful decision, I hear a voice rise up from somewhere behind me. Stop, you can't do this. You can't just let your friend die. It's number 21. The girl I thought to be cool and composed beyond all measures was now pleading with me to spare Lily's life. What do I do? What the hell do I do? Lily said you were like a family to her. You can't abandon family, not before you exhaust every possibility. What can you do then? I'll use my power to erase the virus. That's impossible. Rose spat out what we were all thinking of, but before we can act, Lily starts to send nearby comrades flying with impossible strength. I've seen infected android before and know how much damage they can do once the virus turns off their limiters. They'll fight and fight until they're utterly destroyed. Dahlia and number 16 rush into the fray, trying to suppress their former friend, but she swats them away like flies. How many of us have been infected now? How many friends have I been forced to put down? The heart I'm not supposed to have ached with the thought. It aches as I remember all the identification numbers that have been retired. When did I start giving them names? When did I decide I simply couldn't endure it any longer? Initiating reprogramming sequence. That voice, number 21. She's screaming something about reprogramming? I don't know what to do. I'm lost. As my vision slowly clears, I see number 21 inputting command into her terminal while number 2 and number 4 hold her down. They hold her as she riddles. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I can't. Simply can't. And Rose stares at me with surprise. Oh no. I'm holding Lily too. That is attacker 4, scanner 21, gunner 16. Attacker 4, scanner 21, gunner 16. Part 3. 14th Machine War, Pearl Harbor Descent. The name of the mission entrusted to the Yoha soldiers. Was there ever such furious gunfire, such bombing that's continued without pause? Our target is the machine server under Mount Kal-Allah, and our situation is dire. We need reinforcement, requesting deployment at once. Number 2 speaks quickly yet calmly, which is all the more remarkable considering the hostile army closing in on our position. But the command center is orbiting satellite inform us no reinforcement will be forthcoming. We are abandoned. We are alone. It's so easy to do from up there, from the satellite, from the moon. I'll do whatever is necessary, said Lily with a grim smile. Dahlia and Margaret quickly nod in agreement, as does number 16. They decide to join the rear guard. I don't know what's going on. They decide to join the rear guard, staying behind to our shield, even though it comes at the cost of their own lives. Regardless, they all agreed without hesitation. For we in the vanguard would be joining them in death soon enough. Without another word, we turn our backs to each other and take up positions. We all know this is the end. Dahlia and the others will buy us time to reach the gate as Kala's Peak. Kala's Peak. It's a different spelling this time. I don't know why. Beyond the lies and elevator, and beyond that is a server. If we can destroy it, we'll deal a devastating blow to machine life form throughout the Pacific region. But as I notice number 21 scowling in the elevator, I start to have a bad feeling about the final stage of our mission. Go on, she said. I got this. We crowd in the elevator as she begins hacking the terminal. She doesn't need to tell us what's happening. It's clear that the elevator won't descend at the way to the server unless someone stays behind to control it. Enemies incoming. They're almost on us. As I speak, I suddenly find myself leaping in the elevator and taking up the position on number 221's side, almost as if my body is out of my control. Something is wrong. Something. I'll back up to number 21, I cried. The rest of you take out that server. The door closes on my friends. The last thing I see is the face of my captain, Rose. She looks concerned, but then the door shuts and she is no more. That was the last time I ever saw them. But it's alright, I'm going to finish this one way or another. The only sound we hear are distinct explosion and the rasp of number 21's breathing. Thank you, she whispers, for staying with me. I look at her eyes and see the telltale red of the logic virus infection. I was right after all. I sigh softly as I draw my weapon. I've seen Comrade infected before. That's why I couldn't leave her to die alone. The vaccine she gave Lily is already ineffective. The enemy has evolved. They study number 21's pattern and develop a new resistance. No one can save her now. But when the elevator reaches the server, begins number 21 weakly. Then I'll give you peace, I reply. The elevator moves ever slowly, creating a countdown on number 21's life. However much time has passed, how much can possibly be left? Too long to wait, yet not long enough for regrets. A massive explosion echoes in the distance as Hall slowly shakes. It's the final act of Lily and the others in the rear guard. They just overloaded their own fusion reactor. The sound of our comrade's demise slowly fades from our ears. As it does, number 21 reaches up and slowly removes her goggles. I'm glad I got to meet you, she says. Her eyes are so red, but not completely. There's still a little of herself left. And while it is, don't worry, I said. I'll be with you soon. She smiles as my word reached her ears. As soon as the elevator touches down, I fired a bullet into number 21's brain. I watched the thing that used to be her tumbled to the ground. I stared at the gun. I hold it in trembling hands. I pressed it to my temple. This will end it all. The war. My meaningless existence. All of it. It will finally be over. Unforgivable. Unforgivable. Your comrades sacrifice themselves and fight to the last breath. They feel suffering. They feel sadness. They feel pain and terror. And yet you would surrender now? Unforgivable. The voices in the battlefield curse, telling those who survive to see their mission through no matter what. It is another me crying out. I scream at the top of my lungs and race down the hall. I'll show you. If you're going to push me, I'll show you. You'll only be satisfied if it ends with more killing. I leaped into the fray with weapons in both hands. Here I am. Here I am. Kill me. As I scream, an explosion suddenly rises up and sweeps everything away. A soft wind touches my cheek. I smell fire. I smell ash. The explosion in their server room was powerful enough to take out Mount Allah itself, reducing the once proud summit into a smoking crater. The machine immediately dropped to the ground and stopped moving. I look out over the scorched earth. Lily, number 16, Rose, number 2, are any of you? I am the only one left. The only one. I was alive because I hadn't been afraid to die. I begin to giggle. It's a mad thing, crazed even in to my own ears. I'll join you soon. You promised to join her soon. How could I have said such vain, laughable words, such lies? I laughed. I stand in the smoke and the flames and laughed until I think my very throat will tear itself into two. I blinked. Daylight drifts through the smoke. I've been standing here all night. My laughter finally depleted. I forced myself to my feet. I'm the coward who stayed behind, the coward who lived. Now it's my job to carry on the will of those who fought at my side. Since I can't kill myself, I have to fight until someone does it for me. I'll endure every hardship. I'll kill every machine I find. This is my cross to bear. I walk slowly to the west, dragging my broken body along. Okay, that's Pearl Harbor Descent Summary and Your Attacker 2. Is there a part 4? Number 16, number 21, number 4. I'm sorry, I'm still alive. But I'll be joining you soon as soon as I finish some things up. Okay, those are the 3 files and that's it. Did I talk to an enemy again? Okay, I guess not. But I guess this puts into context on when you first played uh A2, the nightmare, quote unquote, I guess is considered nightmare. She's not really having a nightmare at that time that she was having essentially. Who knows? But now that we have that there, Pearl Harbor descent record is uh there's still a bit missing here. We got all of these, we just read all of these. There is still a few left. And I can't actually no, that's all of them. Wait. Wait, I can read these, right? Wait, Gunner 16, 21, Hacker 4, 2, Rose Anemone, Summary, Letter Force King, Escape Plan, Jackass Bomb Recipe. That's all of Pearl Harbor. That kind of ended off in a really weird way. Anyways, a unit from the experimental Yorha Squadron that has utilized during the 14th Machine War, number 16 possesses a rough and tumbling personality ideal for her role as a gunner, where she is required to attack foes from a distance. Though she possesses a defiant strike that extended even to her superiors, she was assigned to the mission anyways due to her tremendous offensive ability. During her squad assault on Mount Kala, number 16 volunteered to stay behind and hold off the machine life from army, so her companions would continue up the mountain. She fought with great courage alongside members of the local resistance group and managed to hold off overwhelming numbers until the appearance of the Goliath, that she was unaffected by ordinary weaponry. Seeing no other ways to end the fight, she chose to destroy the enemy by overloading and detonating her own fusion reactor. This act of self-sacrifice, despite her defiant nature, is one of the remarkable interests and likely merit further study. Scanner 21, the unit from the experimental Yorha Squadron that utilized during the 14th Machine War, number 21, possesses a cool and analytical personality that perfectly fits the role as a scanner. Her first and perhaps most impressive achievement was using her analytic ability to cure the member of the local resistance group who has been infected by the logic virus. Unfortunately, she fell victim to the same virus shortly thereafter during the assault on the Mount Kala server. Though she fought valiantly, the virus had evolved into a form that she could no longer remove, which eventually led to her asking an allied unit to end her life. Experimental Yorha Unit number 21 initially success against the virus has been determined to be a valuable information regarding how to construct barrier against machine life forms and should be included in the basic system and all subsequential Yorha Squadron members. That's a lot of rating. Attacker 4, unit from the experimental Yorha Squadron that utilized during the 14th Machine War. Though Attacker 4 Attack number 4 possessed an unusual, bright and cheerful personality, she still managed to be effective when it came to engaging the close quarter combat. In addition to providing a morale boost to the group, this unit also used her sunny disposition to form an alliance with the local resistance group. She was eventually killed during the assault on the Mount Kala server, the cause of which was the self-direct overload on her own fusion reactor. Further research reveals that she undertook this action as a means of protecting her companion, Attacker number 2. One further note, while this unit's cheerful personality provides certain benefits to overall unit morale, it was also responsible for a decrease in fighting spirit during intense combat. As such, it has been deemed inappropriate for future combat models. A unit from the experimental Yorha Squadron that utilized during the 14th Machine War, she specialized in close quarter combat and was programmed to have neutral personality. Attacker number 2 took command in the squadron after the death of the original captain number 1. Despite issuing many questionable commands during her initial time as a leader role, she eventually formed a working relationship with the resistance and succeeded in destroying the enemy server located in Mount Kala. While the experimental unit number 2 possessed great growth and adaptability abilities, that's kind of weird wording, she also deserted her post following the destruction of the server, and as of the moment she is yet to apprehended. Our R&D group is currently conducting further research and determine whether or not there were issues with the model's personality settings. Note, the missing experimental unit, now designated A2, will be handled by the Type E division. And Type E is Exterminate division? I'm not sure. Resistance Rose. This android encountered by the experimental Yorha Squadron is the leader of the group composed by many resistance members. The survivor of the 8th Descent operation, she continues to wage guerrilla warfare in the Pacific region thereafter. Unable to stop the ever-proliferating machines, she continues to fight a war of better attribution for over 200 years. After encountering the experimental Yorha Squadron, she sought to change the tide of battle. through fighting alongside them. She was destroyed by machine life form in a server room underneath Mount Kala during the mission to destroy said server. Nemone, the member of the resistance group led by Dahlia, was led by Dahlia that was encountered by the experimental Yorha group. This unit was said to be unusual cautious and showed the greatest initial distrust to the experimental Yorha squadrons. However, her disposition gradually grew more amicable after Scattered Number 21 managed to eradicate the logic virus that had infected one of her companions. She executed an infected unit number 21 in the elevator hall in the Mount Kaala server facility and went missing shortly thereafter. 14 Machine War Pearl Harbor Descent Summary. For this descent, 12 experimental Yorha unit were deployed to destroy a server logic located in Mount Kaala on Oahu Island. However, they encountered heavy enemy anti-air defenses during the initial stage of the mission, resulting in the death of all but all but four squad members. The remaining unit then joined up with a member of the local resistance movement and decided to continue the mission despite their initial losses. Even in the face of fierce enemy counter-strike and overwhelming numerical odds, a handful of units managed to reach the target location, at which point unit number 4 overloaded her fusion reactor and destroyed the enemy server. While the destruction of the server struck the blow against enemy forces, the true purpose of this operation was to monitor and research how the experimental Yorha unit will behave during battle. This information would have been studied and integrated to new Yorha models once the project were to proceed past the experimental phase. One note of concern: it has been verified that the black box signal of the experimental unit attacker number 2 remains alive. Due to the possibility of the unit being captured and compromised by the enemy, and due to the unit existence itself being a matter of the highest level of confidentiality, it has been decided that it is to be recovered and disposed of by the Type E division once the group is fully operational. And that's it for Pearl Harbor Descent record. Even though in the list, technically these 3 are also part of it. I don't know why. Next up, I forgot what it was called. The Robot's Will. Should I read the rest of it? I believe I read a lot of these. Save. The library index. I don't really care about that. But I don't really need to care about that because I've already read them when playing through routes. Yeah. Next one, Engo memory got that. Where is it? Oh, data saved on server. I'm missing 1. I believe. Shipping record, Yorha body storage, Council Yorha record, that one record of the bestial machine, top secret project group. And then after that one, it's just old world information, which there's a lot. Out of all the things I collected so far, I think old world information, like all of them combined, does not equal to barely equals to old world information. Either way, what we need to do now, we chapter select into the last chapter as 9S, and we head to the abandoned factory. Give or take that there is any more story that I need to cut out, because there's probably is going to be more story I need to cut out. Also need to make sure I'm in the right plugin. I am. Okay, around here essentially. There we go. There we go. I feel so blessed to have been able to join this organization, for I, unlike other machine life form, has found meaning in death. At first, all I did was study the religion of human, but then I came to know the existence called God. To be honest, I still do not know what God truly is, but there is something else I learned since coming here. A life that seems devoid of purpose when faced alone can be perceived as meaningful when you're with someone else. In a world consumed by conflict and hatred, gaining such peace in mind was the happy thing indeed. For us, death is not the end, it is the beginning. There is nothing to be happy as becoming God with everyone else. The religious order of divinity, though through death, directed public relation. It's telling you the purpose of the cult, which it's kind of stupid. Anyways, but aside from that, that is all the missing archives that isn't considered part of the old world information. Man, I kind of hate this right now because here's the thing. This is right after recording the stuff. But the Data of the Lost World, a lot of these are... It's basically the same thing as data collecting at this point because I'm not sure. But I am currently at Route B, actually. I'm not Route A. The chapter select. Wait, was I at? Chapter am I at? No, I am at Route C. The side-scrolling section after the boss, so shoot. Lower pathway staircase. I might want to change this up. I might just want to get Project Gestalt. There's a lot of these are dumb. Like it's still Data of the Lost of the Old World, right? But like for this one, which is factory cafeteria sign, there's no purpose to it whatsoever besides saying that, hey, if you're Monday, you're gonna eat croquettes. Tuesday, French fries, surprise. Like that's kind of it. I really don't care. What I really do care are the Project Gestalt messages. I want to say, right now at least, the very least, and I'm only missing 5 of them. So I'm gonna change it up. And I'm just gonna collect, because archives aren't necessarily required. I'm just gonna collect the Data of the Old World, and I'm just gonna collect the one for Project Gestalt because it relates to Replicant in a certain way. I wanna say. There we go. A chest and a lock chest. The lock chest should have our report. There we go. Project Gestalt number 5. Okay, now while still playing as 9S, we go to the City Ruin Center. Basically going to Emil's place, kind of, not really. But you know that gliding part section? There is a locked chest there that we can get. Okay, close to the ledge. I'm just gonna start gliding and looking around for a locked chest. It's great. Or titanium output, I guess. There's this entire section here that we haven't. What the heck are these? Did I include in my unit archive? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Emil. I guess that's something that's why I don't have 100%. This is going all the way back up, isn't it? Oh no, here it is. Oh, there's a crate. Memory alloy. That's not what I'm looking for. Maybe it's here? Yeah, I don't think I've ever got to here before. So we'll see. There is a crate that is locked. Bye. You guys. And that's Project Gestalt Report 7. Next off is 9. And I need to go to a terminal for this. Alright, after saving, we're gonna chapter select into 17-2. And the thing is, because it's in the middle of the story, I don't know if there's actually a decent save point, let alone a decent chapter select point. That will suck if it doesn't. Anyways, coming into the bridge on the right side. It should be on the right side as we approach the first enemy. Right here. How did I miss this? Huh. I was checking my recording. That's Project Gestalt Report number 9. And I'm gonna go back to chapter 7-2. I think that's like the go-to as 9S because everything that we're getting right now is from a locked chest, meaning that we need to hack every one of them. Actually going a lot faster than I thought. There's a part of me that wants to change up the thing and actually get the other archives of the Data of the Lost World. At the same time, a part of me don't. Anyways, we are going to the forest entrance, or center. No, it's an entrance. And we're going back to basically the commercial zone, where Emil's location for his lunar tears. This is the part where I mean by like I should have gotten it because I finished Emil's memory as 9S, if I'm not mistaken. Could be completely wrong, but I did not see any locked chest either. So if I'm not mistaken as well, but still, how did I forget? Alright, so to put an emphasis on why Emil's here, this is Emil's determination quest that you can start. I'm not gonna do that until later in the series. Just a heads up, but regardless, that's that, and I'm going to the Gestalt report segment first. And what I'm being told is that there should be a locked chest here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Wow, it's kind of hidden actually, yeah. Project Gestalt 10. Okay, after saving, we're gonna go to chapter select. We're going to 17-5. And this is one that you could have gotten if when we were playing through the story C and D. It's just I forgot. Sucked. But regardless. The moment after 9S got his arm, his 2D arm, a hacking sequence happened and it's right there. And I'm stuck here now. I'm stuck here. Do some self-hacking so that you're not constantly taking damage. Let me jump. Let me get out of here. Stop the animation. Stop. Hack this chest and Project Gestalt 11 is there. Now I just need to go back to a safe location and I'll read all the Gestalt project images and get out of the tower too. Don't know how long this sequence is gonna take, but it's gonna take. Okay, finally back to a spot that I can just freely read stuff without having to go through the story. 80% is not that bad. The rest of them are technically overworlded. I'm just not gonna collect it. I think I said this already. If you can't tell my voice from my voice, I sound really dead because it took a lot of time just to play through the ending. It's quick, but a lot of the stuff are scripted, and no matter how much no matter how much damage I've done, I still need to wait for the script to go through before they go through the next sequence. I don't know. Either way, Project Gestalt, March 12th, 2014. The proliferation of the white pollination syndrome that emerged in 2003, alongside the appearance of the giant and dragon, has continued unabated. And outbreaks are now being observed on a global scale. Despite being researched and in laboratory across the world, not only have there been no breakthrough in the development of the vaccine to prevent infection, we have yet to ascertain how it even spread. However, many technological breakthrough has been made as a result of research conducted on the massive particle that was discovered at the same time. We are confident that the technology it enables separation of the soul from the body and the independent preservation of both will be final defense against the unprecedented threat of humanity we now face. Now that the project has passed for preparation into the main implementation phase, we have given it the name Project Gestalt. This was learned in Replicant. April 4th, 2015 summary. Protest in opposition of the spiritual preservation method that was disclosed as level 1 information related to the Project Gestalt has sprung up in all areas. The community continues to receive formal complaints from the research team regarding the collection of biased data as a result of the Gestalt process being conducted on the sick and elderly. The number of civilians has undergone a Gestalt process remain at for the public relations department has been established in order to better control information to improve our image. We will also consider rescheduling the project itself if such an action is deemed necessary. We received a report in the laboratory indicating that the basic technology of replicant system is expected to be completed by the end of August. Verification of its safety along with the clinical trial has been conducted from September through November. A report will be submitted in the Prime Minister indicating that the completion of the replicant system will represent a tremendous leap forward for Project Gestalt. This report will be handled by the Public Relations Department. September 24th, 2026. A report has been submitted to the Prime Minister regarding the rampaging weapon incident that occurred in the National Arms Laboratory in June. Though the laboratory budget and allocated human resources are expected to see a significant cut, a team of staff will continue massive research under the umbrella Project Gestalt. Records of human experimentation conducted using massa are scheduled to be disclosed to certain parties separating as level 6 classified information. May 5th, 2033. Through the use of massive technology related to the multidimensional world, 13 activated system has been completed, including Grimoire Noir. We have also confined that these systems can be used to return Gestalt to the replicant form once the white chlorination syndrome has been fully eliminated. Work necessary for this system will be continued by the Grimoire Noir project. April 1st, 2044. Summary. Today's committee meeting was cancelled due to the absence of majority of members. The contact network for urgent absence is to be confirmed at a later date. January 3rd, 2045. It has been decided that the United Nations will launch a full-scale investigation and infiltration operation in order to determine the cause of the massive lesion outbreak in Tokyo area. Details regarding the progress of Project Gestalt are to be shared as part of this effort. So we will insist that any information which leaves the country must first be thoroughly verified by our committee. In particular, information regarding relapses, named tentative, must be kept in the strictest confidence. Oh my god, I'm stuttering. September 15, 2053. As Project Gestalt undergoes approval in countries across the world, we recognize that there has been imperfections in how information has been regulated with regards of civilians. Until the safety of the final system has been verified, all information related to this matter is subject to level 4 classification. As such, its relation to the Minister of Health and Welfare Life Rehabilitation Program must be kept strictly confidential. Furthermore, we ask that the following information be sent to all related personnel and organization immediately. Clauses regarding compensation is in the event of information leak are not to be added to contact with all partner companies. In the event of an information leak uncertain, the source should be the company's top priority. Please refer to countermeasure C for information how to handle leaked information as well as the individuals who disclosed it. September 27, 2054. The discovery and development of the original was contributed greatly to the stabilization of Project Stall. Long-term management of the original will be handled to the Hamelin organization. As per the management mentioned above, all authorities regarding the cryogenic plan to be relapsed Yona is to be transferred to the Hamelin organization. April 18th, 2764. We have received troubling report from multiple admin zones that the replicant have started to behave as if they have developed senses of self. It is currently under investigation that what implications that this might have on Project Astar as a whole. As other disclosable matters have already been directed to the admin union, they have been omitted here. December 31st, 3361. These are very big time skips. Due to the relapse of the original, Gestalt units in preservation are now relapsing at an accelerated rate. The process of recording their body and gathering their DNA continues, but progress is poor. New countermeasure and development intended to serve as a replacement to Project Gestalt are scheduled to be transferred to the Next Generation Preservation Project Preparation Committee. As for this report, it will serve as the final record of both Project Gestalt and the committee. For information about the development plan for the new Android model and the refinement of existing model, please refer to the attached sheet. Furthermore, we have received approval to consider disposal of the Devila and Popola observer model at a later date. And that's it. Wait, I thought it was 12. Now there's 11. And that's it. Yeah, it's kind of it. I don't know. It just kind of feels weird, and I'm just reading it. Whatever. It's more or less information on Project Astral. There is technically mysterious lithogram that I would consider collecting, but besides that, I really don't care about anything else that is old world information. A lot of them are just old items found outside the game. Probably, I don't know. But regardless, that's kind of it. And that's kind of it for this reporting. Next episode. What is left? Or next recording, what is left? I've done archive, I've done all the intel that I need to do. There's still Emil's determination that I'll leave at a later point. Okay, so next recording session, because I will be taking a break, we will start tackling on the endings of the game. And by that, I mean, well, you'll see. There's a part of me that I kind of want to figure out. Actually, no. The next part will not be tackling the ending. Instead, the next part will be focusing on the DLCs. Because I completely forgot about that while mindlessly playing through the story. So there is Mysterious Letter. And I'll just be doing that first before finishing it. Before starting the endings. This is Emil's thingamajig determination quest. I'll get to that at a later time. But yeah, regardless, that is all.